So I got laid off work, and my response to that is Australia. Let me explain though. Hi, my name is Geneva and welcome to G's Journal, and today we're gonna get into it, all of it, because there's a lot to discuss. So I want to preface by saying that this year, like 2025, has been a time. We're not gonna get into it in this video necessarily, but I found that this year has been very transformative. A lot of positive things happened, a lot of not great things happened, such as layoffs, but I am ready to propel myself into 2026 with positivity and light and energy and manifestations. I'm ready. So anywho, let's get into the layoffs first. I can't even take it seriously. Okay, let me first give some context on like me and like my life and things so that things make a bit more sense. So I've always been someone who loves travel. I love group travel. I love solo travel. And when I was working full time, I follow a lot of content creators, specifically in the travel space. And so I was getting a lot of travel content. And while when I did have my vacation days, I would go to skate parties in England, for example, or a skate party in Spain, I didn't have full flexibility, obviously, to just jump around the world because I had a job that needed me there from 9 to 6, Monday to Friday. And so I've been working on creating my own business, and part of that is because I want financial freedom for myself, but I also want freedom from the 9 to 6 or 9 to 5 in my future. And so that just is important to know in relation to context when I'm talking. When I was in university, I applied for an exchange program, which I was super excited for, and I got into RMIT in Australia. Unfortunately, guess the year. You guessed the year that I was accepted into the program. If you guessed primetime COVID-19, you guessed right. So yeah, that happened. But even before I had been accepted to that program, I've always had this fascination with Australia and wanting to go. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Okay, so let's jump into the layoff. So I was working full-time for around 2.5 years at a post-production company, I was specializing in motion design. And so when the layoff happened, I think there was just a moment of pause for me to figure out, okay, like this has just occurred. What are my next steps? What is it that I want next? I tell all my friends know that I want to move to Europe permanently, and that I want to do a working holiday visa at some point in my life. I want to go to Australia, and there's just so much around travel that I want to do. And when the layoff happened, I found myself in a position where I had no job that I needed to stay here for, and I also had savings from the years that I had worked. That being said, I know that comes from a place of privilege because I was able to move back home, that's where I am right now, and save up that money over the time that I was working. So I found myself with no job, savings, no connections that are keeping me to Canada right at this moment. And that's what made me think to myself, maybe this is the time to do this trip. Maybe this is the time to do Australia. So I applied for my visa and literally got accepted the same day. I didn't know I got accepted the same day. I'm super excited, but I'm also super nervous, of course, because this is something that I have never done before. It's the complete other side of the universe. And I know a few people, I think I know 3 or 4, but they're spread out. I don't know if I'm gonna see all of them. It's crazy to me that it's actually happening. I don't think I'm gonna fully believe that it's real until I am on the first flight. I feel like in my life, I've always been pretty like on the ball in terms of like, okay, go to university, okay, look for an internship, okay, get the internship, okay, land the job, okay, get the job, keep the job. And I see the trajectory and I see the way that I'm going, and I realize there are some things that I want in my life that the trajectory that I was on isn't going to give me. And I think that realization has been over time, but it's been amplified in this middle space of like break where I haven't been employed. There's a quote that I really love, and it goes, if you want to go places that you've never gone, you must be willing to do things that you've never done. And I love that quote so much because there are certain things in my life that I really want to do and want to happen, and they're always very clear in my mind. And now I have this space to do that, and so I'm gonna do it. The quote doesn't just mean location, right? It means anything. If you want to own a small business and be a business owner, you're gonna need to do a lot of things you've never done before in order to get there. And that's what I'm hoping to achieve in all areas of my life. I've realized a lot of the things that I value as a person and the things that I want. And I value time, I value freedom, I value travel, I value new experiences, I value personal growth. So a little bit more about why Australia, why is there this fascination? I think a big piece of it is the lifestyle. I'm very much into the fitness world, all things fitness, and also being outdoors. I love warm weather. I get super cold really easily, so the Canadian winters are very tough for me. The beaches, also there's a skate community there as well, so that's a big pull. And another reason is because it's so far away from home. I have not been to Australia, but I just have a feeling that I would want to move there. And that's something that I don't think that I will be doing or don't plan on doing because I don't want to be that far away from all of my friends and family. I'm like talking on here and creating this video, but at the same time I'm like, am I going? Because like I'm not on the plane. Like I don't know, it's such a weird place to be right now, if that makes any sense. I guess like the next thing I'd address is like, why now? For me, it just seems like the perfect time. I don't have any connections here, like romantic or children or anything of the sort. And I know that as life goes on, it gets a little bit more difficult to make large scale trips like that because you have commitments, you have work. I am also a career focused person and I would love to have a great career. And so I've decided to do my Australia thing now and then hop back into the traditional workforce while working on my small business and watching that grow too. It's also been on my vision board for the longest time. I've had this vision board up for years and my little kangaroos have been on there forever. I have this little koala that like hangs on things and I specifically put that on my curtains so that every morning when I wake up I can see the koala and remind myself that that's something that I want to do at some point in my life. And I also, for the past, I'd say 2.5 years, whenever I'm around the city or literally in someone's home or wherever, I take photographs of things that are Australian or say something in relation to Australia on it. And I've kept it in a folder on my phone this entire time so that I can like look through all the photos and use it as like signs, like signals from the universe that Australia is in my future. I've also slowly been adding more apps to my phone. I've been adding Bumble Friends, I added Time Left, I added Amigos, I added, Trusted House Sitters, and I've done a house sit here in Canada so that when I go there, I can use Trusted House Sitters. If you don't know what Trusted House Sitters is, it's an app where you're able to stay in people's homes for free in exchange for watching over their home and their pets. So I've been like slowly getting all of these things up on my phone. The other apps I mentioned are all like meeting friends apps. And like revving it up, like getting it prepared in my mind so that when the time finally comes, I've been prepping for it for years. So what now? What am I doing? And the answer is a little bit of everything. There's a lot going on. So first off, I'm getting a few things ironed out with my business, Hindsight Design, which is a roller skate themed apparel line. And I'm getting that all sorted as much as I can in terms of like getting some collaborations shipped out before I leave, figuring out a content strategy, all that kind of stuff. I've also been looking for jobs in Australia. I've been on LinkedIn every so often taking a look. I've also been messaging people, like cold emailing people through LinkedIn, asking for coffee chats so that when I get to Australia, I'll have people that I'll be able to sit with and talk about my skill set and what I'm doing. I've also been reaching out to people who I used to freelance with, letting them know that I'm available for freelance gigs so that I'll have those people as well. I've asked people that I know who are in Australia to look out for work opportunities and asked my network of people if they know anyone who's also in Australia. I'm creating my Notion template and figuring out what are the main activities that I want to do, what's the timeline, what's my budget. I've also been reaching out to friends, letting them know and figuring out when we can meet before I head out so I can see them one last time. Recording YouTube videos as I prepare for this big launch into a new life setup. Keeping up with my roller skating, of course, and still going to the rink. Figuring out hotels, hostels, and all that kind of stuff, accommodation, and what are the dates of those things, and if I want to book any tickets ahead of time for any major attractions. I've been really working on my business, trying to iron out as much as possible before I go. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and I leave in around a month. Mind-boggling to me, but I'm so ready for it. I'm gonna hit so many bucket list things. I don't want to say it wrong. I think it's Cairns. I'm gonna put the text on here so you can read it. Cairns is supposed to have some incredible like adventure things, but there's just so many like active activities. There's also like sandboarding, I think on Morton Island, I think, if I'm getting that right. So I actually arrived in Sydney, and then from there I'm gonna do some backpacking. I got my laptop just to confirm a few things, and okay, wait, before that, let me like look up Cairns. Announce. Okay, there's a video. 1 second, guys.
Instead of saying hair, we want to stop the pronunciation, keep our mouth open. Cairns.
Okay, Cairns. It's Cairns, guys. Get into Sydney, drop off my bags, get the backpack, go to Cairns. Once I'm there, I'm gonna go down to Mission Beach. There's a few things I want to do there. Then I'm going to go to Whitsundays. Then I'm planning on going to the Sunshine Coast for a few days. Then Brisbane. Then the Gold Coast. Then Byron Bay. Then I'll be back in Sydney. And then I have a friend in Melbourne. Yeah, I really would love to visit him in Melbourne. As for Perth, if I'm being so real with you, I don't think I'm going to make it there. It's so far away that I think it's going to burn my wallet, considering I'm going to be doing a lot of the other areas. So yeah, I feel like I have a pretty good plan and idea of what I'm going to be doing and what this trip means, like what it's about. At the end of the day, I want it to be an experience where I get to travel and have fun and have new experiences, while also, that's why it's working holiday visa, work in my field, do a bit of motion design work on building my portfolio as well, work on building my business and reaching new people, being able to roller skate with a different community than the one that I've started my whole skate journey with. So there's so much meaning and purpose behind this trip, and self-discovery and just solo travel, all of those things that I'm gonna have, and I am very much looking forward to it. So with that, I'll say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that maybe it inspired you to also take the jump and travel to a different place on a working holiday visa. But definitely stay tuned onto this account for other videos as I explore. I'd love to show you some of my experiences while I'm there and some of the adventures that I go on. So yeah, thank you so much. Also, if you want to stay connected, make sure to follow us, my sister and I's joint Instagram account on Hindsister Skate. I'll also be posting skate content while in Australia, and Hindsight Design for my roller skate apparel line, and I'll definitely be posting some videos from Australia there too. So I'll see you in the next one, and bye!